Do YouTubers make good filmmakers? A question most people don't ask, but a question that's been solved by one
set of twins.
One set of twins.
Which
The
at first when I
RackaRacka
saw
brothers.
them, I couldn't tell if one was older and they were just looked identical or they're twins.
That, I'm sure, is a thought you have had, because
They don't even look that similar.
They look completely identical. I thought you really didn't think they were twins?
For some reason, not that like when I saw them, but like I feel like I had heard that they were like younger, older brother. Straight up twins, identical twins even.
Yeah, they are arguably some of the most identical. Down to
one changed his hair.
That was it.
So that's the only way you can tell them apart.
Yeah, like crazy.
Oh, when you look back on their old videos, you can't tell the difference. Yeah, Danny and Michael.
But their last name is not Racka.
No, so I was looking them up, and born in Adelaide, Australia, these twins, Michael and Danny.
Good day, mate.
Now
they talk like this.
This is how it's spelled.
I can't see it. You're fluent.
Oh wow,
you're going crazy. Your hands are shaking. Philippou.
So I had to give myself. I put it into Google Translate, and
if we're saying it wrong.
No. I put it into Google Translate, and I had it say it, and then I did the Philippou. And that's how I know how to say it now, because I put it into Google Translate.
Real quick, let's catch you up. These are two YouTubers. We're a YouTuber. We'll go through their origin and everything, but basically they're two YouTubers that made this movie, and the movie is being received a lot better than most YouTuber movies.
Yeah.
There's one, Logan Paul made a movie, Airplane. It was an airplane.
Is it Airplane or Airplane?
It's called
Airplane Mode.
Yeah. It's an airplane ripoff, though. But the whole idea is, like, YouTubers can't be Hollywood. Like, you don't be doing YouTube. You can't do both is the idea. Which,
we'll see how that goes, because this is their first ever movie.
Yeah.
It's doing incredible. It's called Talk to Me.
It's a horror movie. We actually have not seen it yet, which is embarrassing.
Partially because
horror is scary.
That's
not the reason why. That's not the reason why.
I was going to ask you this. Do you think you'll go? I've been thinking about going.
I just really don't like getting scared.
Like, obviously I've seen like The Conjuring and like The Shining and stuff.
Yeah, I love those ones with all the scariness.
The twins.
Not really. But basically these two twins are they basically have made this movie, and they've made it into Hollywood. A24 studio, a younger studio, has picked them up. They originally didn't work with A24 on the movie, but A24 picked them up to showcase it. But basically, we're just going to be covering how they did it, if it's possible to do this, and if this is a route that we think we might do or other people could do.
Yeah.
The RackaRacka.
Now, can I tell you a little bit about RackaRacka?
The history. Is this
is
the insane history of RackaRacka?
They have. So I watched a few videos on their history, and I read their Wikipedia, and it's pretty obvious that their Wikipedia is very new. It's very short, and I would have thought, because they had a big channel.
How do you get a Wikipedia?
You make one.
You can't just make one. I tried.
I thought you could.
You have to like be a member to be able to
it's like
write
$2
stuff. I don't know.
Every time you get on Wikipedia, hey, can you donate? Okay, RackaRacka. Let me get my notes out here. I don't want to miss anything. As I said, born in Adelaide, Australia. Twins Michael and Danny. They grew up normal, suburban.
I was born in Australia, mate. They talk really fast and like this.
They do talk extremely fast.
And loud.
Oh, so
fast
loud.
And loud.
So they started making videos when they were 11 years old, and it was on Facebook. And they would like not recreate, but they would do fake WWE fights with each other.
The Facebook rabbit hole. A lot of times people say you need to study where people started. Like one of the cringe film talkers, Elijah Anthony F., not Elijah J. Anthony, who we thought his name was, would always post these like, I used to be a GoProer, now I'm a filmmaker. And they're like, you need to study the starting off with GoPro. So they start off with the Facebook. Maybe that
Yeah.
is how many filmmakers they looked at. How many filmmakers start off by using a webcam to
Yeah.
make stuff? Where does that lead to? That needs to be studied. So the whole thing is like, you need to study GoPros.
So they started on Facebook with WWE. It sounded like before that they had done like without posting some videos. I think it was just like fake fights and stuff like that. But then in 2005 they started to post on YouTube, and those videos were like, and actually I couldn't find them, and they said that they're all private. I don't know why, but they're all private and hidden, so you
they
can't
probably said
see.
something.
Honestly,
You
Australian,
stupid. Just dropping just horrible things.
just horrible slurs. So they started doing fake fails and like WWE fights
Because
on
they're
YouTube.
one big thing they're known for. If you've ever seen them, with most of you, if you're clicking on this or watching this, or if you haven't and you're just following us, they're these big fight impact, like very intense. Everything has a ton of action.
Yeah.
And all their stuff has like a ton of fight scenes and
Oh
like,
yeah,
movement
even
to
when
it.
they do collabs with other people.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
intense. And their stuff is always super crazy. Which is just like they've kind of put that, they said they've moved that like into their filmmaking as
Yeah.
well. So that's cool to see.
Yeah,
that.
I would like
they
to
take
see
pieces
their
of-
their film and see if they kind of like, if you can kind of tie it together. Like obviously it's very different, but I wonder if there's like similarities in their videos and in their film.
Which brother wrote the movie?
I'm not sure. I think that they
They did not co-write it. One of them wrote it. I know that
ready
for a
this?
fact.
All right.
It's embarrassing. Not
Actually,
in your fact sheet.
Not
The
in my
roles.
facts. This is not in my
I don't
fact
know
sheet,
which
actually.
roles. We can read off what the roles are. We can get
Here,
all
hold
of them
on.
here. I know one of them wrote it because they talked about in an interview that they cannot write together because they will fight the whole time.
It's so funny. On a ton of the videos, it's like bloopers of them, and like they just scream and swear at each other. It's like one of them will like mess up, and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" It's so funny.
We're not doing a good Australian
No,
accent.
horrible. I think I just did British.
You did.
but-
What is wrong with you?
Okay.
Good day, mate. What is wrong with you? Nope. Can't do it. Just slurring.
We
this.
don't know how to do accents.
But they always said they would argue. I think they co-directed.
They did co-direct it. So Danny
Wrote it.
wrote it with Bill Hinsman and Dally Pearson.
And Danny has more of the leadership. You can see Danny's the one
Yeah.
behind most of it. Which is what we're going to go into a little bit too, is like you have to have a balance of follow and lead. I mean, not really a balance, but there needs to be a defined, like if Danny tried to lead and shoot, what is the other brother?
Danny and Michael.
Michael. If like Michael tried to come in and take over and start writing, that would not work at all.
Yeah.
And also, it's like Michael probably the fact that he's not writing it tells me that he does not want the story to be developed as much as Dan. Like you can
Yeah.
tell whoever's taking up those roles wants it the most. Like there's levels of want. And in a film set, it's kind of weird to see like what are the levels of want? Like does the director want this to be made the most versus the PA?
Yeah.
Like the PA, do they care if this
Maybe
gets
that
made?
PA is absolutely carrying.
Not what are they putting back
Yeah.
in? How much do they care?
Yeah.
Like how much are they like, I want my ideas in here. I think this is right. This feels wrong. And how much do they trust? Like they feel like there's a lot of like, I'm a grip for this. And a grip's basically just like lights,
Yeah,
getting the
lights.
lights ready, making sure the gear's there. I just want to make sure the lights are right. I don't feel like I want to change. I'm just going to let someone tell me what to do. I'm just here to hang out. I like being here. I like helping, but I don't want to start because that's a lot of responsibility. Once you start giving ideas, if you stop, it's like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
You kind of have to like choose what your, like how much do you want to, it's like a weird care. It's like care versus input kind of too. Like I might care a lot and think this is fun, but I'm not going to go the extra mile to bring up new ideas or bring up new things. But you need to have a film set with every little bit of
Yeah.
that. Because if you have 10 people that care maximum amount, maybe you'll make something, but there'll be no real direction of it. Kind
Yeah.
of. So I wonder between Danny and Mikey, Danny and Michael, Dan and Mikey. I've already
We're friends.
We're friends with them. I'd love to meet them if you guys are watching this by chance. Sorry they didn't watch your movie. I'd get scared.
I think I'm gonna go try and watch it.
Yeah, that would
no
be
promises though.
That would be a fun watch. Maybe we make a short out of it or something. Going to watch. But I wonder what they're want, and I wonder if they both, because you can tell like Danny leads interviews and talks more, but that doesn't always mean they have more want.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about filmmakers and the want level?
I think that there is definitely, that's where it goes, like with Spielberg, definitely like wants it, and he's gotten there because he wants it. I think that there are different like roles on a film set, and I think they each, like I think a director, they need to care. Like not everyone, like some of those roles are just jobs to people. So I think that there is a element of both, of like, okay, you can care, but like sometimes people also don't want a ton of input from the grips. Like, because if you have input from everyone, you're just like, shut up. I'm the director. I have to direct this. I've got to give the ideas. I think that there are roles that should be giving ideas.
What roles do you think those are?
Director. I think actors are a great place that ideas can come from while it's happening.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, you've had the opportunity to be an actor in everything, right?
That's true. Yep, everything.
But I would say the way you handle it, at least it looks like that you're like, okay, you take that's your responsibility. I'm not even gonna, I don't want to worry about giving input because I don't want to say something that would distract from your vision.
Yeah,
do you feel like that's true? Or do you feel like that's just not even thinking that way?
Occasionally I have ideas and I'll share them, but most of the time it's more about like I'll be thinking of like, okay, I want to be able to do what I'm doing best. And I know a lot of the time almost all the time it's your idea, and then I already have that streamlined into my mind, and I'm like, all right, same exact thoughts. Yeah, I think I could do a better job of like on set, like throwing out some more ideas, or like not even on set.
Because I don't know what's good, or I don't know if it's good if Steven Spielberg had his producer saying, hey, change this, do this. Or if
like does Jaws get changed into a like horror movie?
Yeah, if like the producer comes
like,
up with a
look, there's so much suspense, you could just go that extra mile.
And like, is a movie better because people gave so much more ideas? Like, if let's say Danny wrote this movie, like he wrote this movie, and Michael obviously they worked together, directed together. But like, would the movie be better? They even said like a producer wanted to come in and they were going to take them, but they wanted to change it to make it a basic horror movie. And that's not our vision.
Yeah, because they were working with a big production, like Hollywood company, and then they were like, all right, let's do this, and they're like, all right, that does not align with our vision at all.
And they just didn't do it.
Now, I did not look into where they got their funding for. $4.5 million was the
make
budget.
it?
Now, let me jump back into the history. Let's finish up the history just for those people that are concerned now that they've heard half the history.
And if you're watching the clip, you didn't even know this happened.
Yeah, I cut it in half, and you didn't even see it.
You didn't even know.
So, okay. 2005, they start posting those videos. Don't know where they are. I cannot find them. I'm sure they're out there somewhere on like a Reddit or something. But after posting for a while in different like videos, their first big video was Harry Potter versus Star Wars.
Oh, which we just
watched.
First
week, 7.5 million views. Yeah. So they had like a massive jump. I think that they were getting like 20,000, 50,000 views, maybe more before that. But then that hit, and that was the first week, 7 million views. And then they started to get noticed by more people, so they started doing more collab work, more like Michael started to act. He got pulled into some acting jobs on like minor movies.
Which could be a fun thing for us to do.
Yeah.
Of looking at, now, is this the rest of kind of the history, or is there a little bit more?
There's a little bit more.
I want you to just finish us off, and then we'll dive in.
All right, excuse me there. So then they kept doing their like fighting videos, prank videos, kind of going all around. And then they did a prank where they drove a car that was a pool. So Picture like a
Is
little
it the back of a pickup truck like that?
Picture like your car, or like a car that's like a shorter car, 4 doors, inside filled with water.
How does the car work?
I don't
don't
know.
wanna think about that.
I didn't watch the video. But they got arrested for that, for like driving violations or something. And then they kind of disappeared for about a year. And then a year later, after they got in trouble, they came back and they announced "Talk to Me," and then took that to Sundance, or they made it into Sundance. And then A24 came in and they picked it up, and ever since
Now,
then.
obviously, there's a little bit more
Yeah.
in there, but that's like the broad pillars of it. But what I was going to say is, I wonder if, because they paid for a lot of the movie because they made money from YouTube
I
and
would guess that
acting
mostly
gigs.
them.
But it's like, until you're ready to make that full feature, you can't. So a big thing in the film industry is passion projects, aka short films, like. What we're making, you could technically call a passion project, even though we don't think of it like that. But you need money for those. The whole reason a lot of people in the film industry aren't making their own stuff is because it costs money, and obviously there's a whole nother thing.
My guess would be that they funded it most in their video that they released. That was kind of like going over the release and going into Sundance. They called a few people, like telling them that they got into Sundance, and they called one person that said, like, they were putting like this person, actor, then this person, and it was like investor, and they called one person. So I think it might have been just those two. I don't know. There's probably a lot going on behind the scenes.
But still, like, okay, we talked the other day of like, what if we made a funny stormtrooper video, like 2 stormtroopers lost on Endor, and made a funny short film, 5 minutes, easy. Sam and I act or whatever.
Because if you watch Mandalorian Season 1, Episode 8,
it's a hilarious
super funny scene where there's 2 stormtroopers. They're
speeder bike troopers.
Yes, sorry. Oh, jeez. Speeder bike troopers are like on like this cliff, and they've got
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, they've got Baby Yoda, and they're like waiting for Moff Gideon to drop him off.
They're basically just screwing around, like shooting a rock.
They're like missing
trolling
a rock
each
and,
other,
like, punching Grogu. Ooh, almost unplugged my mic there.
But they're basically just bickering, and it's like it's so funny to see. This is what RackaRacka made these videos, but like fighting. So what if we did that and then had maybe like we added in our own fight scene, or it's like you take these pre-established characters, like even like an Indiana Jones could be a funny thing, like
Indiana Jones teaching a class,
trying to do, or not even like how could we make it funny, but also like a 5-minute Indiana Jones of like try to do our own Indiana Jones, something like that in between these passion projects. Like American Dreamers is coming out August 30th, and it's to make that movie better. Okay, it would have been better if we had more eyes, and if we would have had more money, it could have obviously been better.
Yeah.
So it's like, and obviously if we've learned more, like there's a lot of stuff and we'll dive into this in the actual American Dreamers episode of like, what did I personally want to do better? What did Sam personally want to do better? How can we make this a better movie next time? How can we make better movies next time?
And you guys have to wait to hear that one.
You have to wait to hear that one. But you could learn from doing like an Indiana Jones 5-minute short film. I could learn a lot. One of our best videos is the Home Alone remake.
It did so well.
7,000 views.
And it's been so funny because at first when it was released, it did good.
Yeah.
And then
it just gets
all
like
of a sudden
50 views a week.
Just like all the time, it's just constantly getting views. And
but it's not all about views, but it's like we learned some basics. Like that's where I learned a lot of basic filmmaking shots to set up, like where do I frame things, like a lot of basic principles of how is this edited, how is music used, how are sound design used, of like, okay, we could really learn. And we've in the past had this idea. This also makes it more of a YouTube channel of like, okay, maybe we're posting 1 or 2 videos a month. One's a really big thing like that, and the other are these projects that bring in. It's like I watched actually Game Theory talk about it, who analytically is a genius, creating everything.
So smart.
And he talked about, and this is what Disney's having a problem with. When you're trying something new, or you need to have 2 things that you know people are going to bring in and love, and then you need to try in that fit your passion thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know someone's going to love Stormtroopers on Endor. I know someone's going to love Indiana Jones short film. boom, here's American Dreamers. So they're like, oh, that was cool. But if we post Vendetta at Sarsgrave, American Dreamers, it's so much harder for someone to, it's like, okay, I kind of like that. Okay, I kind of like that. It takes a lot for someone to come in for an original project. But if you have that initial draw of like, okay, that was pretty good. What else have they? Oh, they did this? Okay. So it's like, it's kind of to bring people in, to practice skills. And it's fun. Like, it'd be really fun
any
to
downside.
do that.
The only downside I can think of is branding. How that affects branding.
But
here's the thing that we kind of like talked about is YouTube isn't the place where we become filmmakers.
Yeah. We're filmmakers in the real world.
Yeah.
YouTube's where we're showing off
So
work.
if we can make like let's say the Stormtrooper video, does that affect people's view? I don't think it would that much.
I think if we don't brand, like on Instagram, if we're not going crazy on.
Yeah.
Like Instagram's where we can show off these main original works and stuff like that. This also helps with merchandise. Like, okay, they're the guys that create. And that's just another thing. We're taking a story that exists and we're doing a version of it, or a story of like young Indiana Jones in the woods, or young Indiana Jones runs into 2 stormtroopers.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Like, there you go. That's a 5-minute short film. It's interesting, unique. Like, you have all these different layers to do. Now, the branding side is interesting, and I've tried. This is the only issue that I've run into of looking at, like, okay, original work. Does this really make the brand of Suka look weaker? And it's like, well, kind of, maybe. But I would really like to do this other thing, and it would bring people to watch the movies more.
In my mind, I can't see, except like a few of like super pretentious people, who wouldn't want to watch like videos like that. That they're just fun, and I think if they're done well,
it would be done well, and it would be fun. It's not like I'm doing this so people watch my other movies more. It's like, this would be a really fun idea to
test
create.
new techniques, new different things you want to try.
So it could be, and it's also like, okay, well, if you're making, I'd love to make money off that. It's like, I want to be the filmmaker, Luke Ring. Suka's just a way to show that off and to create like the brand off of it. But even if it's like, for the next 3 years, we're going to do our own stuff on top of Star Wars and Indiana Jones and this, and then get to 1 million subs, and then look what RackaRacka did. This is where we bring it back to that topic of like, they did all this superhero, then they did their own thing. They learned all their styles through having preset stories of people that like, I would rather have 10,000 people watch me trying a new idea than 100, because those 10,000, maybe 5 or 6 of those really like it and they tell me they like it, and the other 100 are like, this sucks, don't do that again. It's like, you're learning. It's also giving more like content to talk here or whatever. There's so much advantage to it, I feel like. Now, I don't know what that noise was. Sorry about that, guys. If you're on audio, you just got either blessed or not.
That's up to you to decide. Now, RackaRacka, I don't know if this is true or not, but in their video they said like Steven Spielberg contacted them and said he wanted to watch it. And that is crazy.
No, he said he liked what they were doing, not he wanted to watch the movie.
I thought he had said that
he reached out because he saw it or knows of it. Not like, hey, I want to watch. Not because he saw their YouTube stuff.
No. Yeah, I was saying because they had won Sundance.
Yeah. They just, I think all they said is he just reached out. Yeah. Not why or if.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, does Steven Spielberg care if you make YouTube? It's like, no.
Clearly.
The end goal is to be in movie theaters and to be on a big scale. It's like, right now, this is kind of a way to... And we love Star Wars and those other characters so much.
It would just be so much fun to, like, learn that way, do those stories, like, create fun little, like, 5-minute creative, like, short...
Yeah, just be like a short.
There's so many different, like, routes you could take with it, too. Like, you can do anything you want with it. It's not like it all has to be comical. It doesn't all have to be scary. You can, like...
Yeah, it could be different things.
It's just all about taking, like... something that exists and like putting your own little spin on it.
Yeah, they say like the best creations, you take something and change it by 3%. The story of Harry Potter is literally the story of Star Wars.
Yeah.
If you look at it. Orphan child that has secret power.
Those are some of my favorite videos.
Oh, I know.
When they like
show
put
off.
something side to side.
It's like you can just take, and this is maybe not even directly saying like, this is what we're going to do next. But like, I think that would be a cool, now you look into like making those, what does that mean for like creating them? Is it like, do we still have the balance of director producer balance, actor balance, and with that want, it's like, well, my want's going to be highest on my original works. Does that mean like these shorts with Indiana Jones are not going to be as good? No, but it's that want level again. That also means there's a lot, like balancing between those projects with actual commercial projects, on top of school, on top of actual life, and having time to like decompress and learn new ideas. It's almost like a go thing.
Yeah.
It's like, would it be better if we made only original project? If we made 2 more projects before Christmas, would that be better than if we made 6 and 4 of those are Indiana Jones, Star Wars? It's like, those are kind of questions of like, just don't overthink, just do what you want. Like,
and
fun.
I think it's hard to know without like trying it first. Like we've made like videos, not exactly like that, but like we've made YouTube videos.
We've never made something like that.
Yeah.
The Home Alone is the only thing that was so fun.
That really was. And we were following it almost exactly, which if we had just taken the story, I think that would have even been more fun. Just take the story and then like, all right, he's got to blow this up. Then they run and like, instead of trying to recreate the exact shot, just shooting it however, like whatever you want to do, or like the most creative way to do it. I think that could also be not recreating but like recreating a story or like a scene, like taking something that's there, but like making it your own. Now, I don't know how that works with like.
Yeah, we've talked about that, which I think is cool, but I think me personally, I would love to see an Indiana Jones meets Stormtrooper, an Indiana Jones short film, which is like, what are really the rules on that?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's.
You can, not that we'd submit it
parody.
Anywhere, but like I'm going to use John Williams' score. I don't have access to someone who's going to make music monthly. I mean, we do, but it wouldn't be that full-on level. But like John Williams would be so fun, obviously, to work with. And now that he's done, it's like, I'll never get that chance, but you can use the instrumental score to make stuff. And it would be very nice to get a lot of views because growth is good.
Yeah, growth
and it's
is
that
good.
idea of like
eyes, no matter where they're from.
That does matter.
Yeah, that does matter.
TikTok will destroy you.
Yeah.
But they said, no, Game Theory was talking about, Matt Pat from Game Theory was talking about Disney's release and why they're losing money.
Oh.
Are
you talking about?
Now, let me just, before you don't blur anything, let me just tell this. They released 5 movies. This is Marvel movies. It's like it goes from Wakanda Forever, Doctor Strange, up until there's 2 more, Multiverse of Madness. Wait, no. What was the one? Quantumverse. There we go.
Oh, Quantumania?
Quantumania. Then what came before Guardians?
I don't know.
It was...
Okay, so it goes Doctor Strange, then
Wakanda.
Oh gosh. Okay, I literally don't know. I think that Doctor Strange is first. Then I know Ant-Man is out.
What is it? Phase 5?
Isn't it like phase 5? Guardians. There's so many Marvel movies. It's hard to remember.
There are. Here we go.
Because I'm like thinking of the shows as well.
It's phase 4. Okay, here we go. Oh, it was Thor.
Oh, not Ragnarok.
It went
Love and
Multiverse
Thunder.
of Madness, Thor, Black Panther, wait, Captain Marvel too. What is this list?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, no,
2?
it went Eternals,
Oh, I didn't see that.
Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, and then Guardians. And they said 4 garbage movies for 1 mediocre And they said if that mediocre was in the middle, those other two movies wouldn't have lost as bad because people would have been expecting more. But when you have when you have no consistency of like, all right, we're going to make one really good thing. Something's not as good. One really good thing versus really good, bad, really good. Like when you have no consistency or nothing that's bringing in, either A, YouTube's going to think you're dying, everything, not even dying of like, we didn't want to go to another Marvel movie because we're like, all of those have been garbage. Yeah. But if we would have had a win in there, it's like, okay, I remember this is not that bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, what for us can be a consistent win? And also say like, all right, we got to turn it up a little bit because if we don't want to go to school, we need to be making money from YouTube at least a penny.
Yeah.
It's like it can't be a long grind forever. And I mean, we own an Indiana Jones hat. That would be so freaking fun to make an Indiana Jones shirt.
Indiana Jones Stormtroopers, that actually would
Shoot
be
it like Spielberg?
Go to the forest somewhere, just have two Stormtroopers walking around. That would be so fun.
I didn't know if you were saying a joke. I don't know what you were saying there. Just have two stormtroopers in a forest. Like, go to a forest. I was like,
I really want to go to a forest for some reason.
You're going to say a joke. I was like, what are they doing in the forest, Sam?
I was just thinking Andor. That's all.
Hey, that's why you let me come up with it, and then we shoot. Because I'll come up with a little more than the forest. But it would be really cool to see those stories. And like RackaRacka did, it's like, all right, if it worked for RackaRacka, let's try it out. Or, like, it's like you got to be trying to do new things. And if this doesn't work, it's like, delete it. Or just private it. It's like, there can't be that much, like, brands. Maybe that, like, it can only be a positive brand. Oh, I loved what you did with the Indiana Jones thing. I'd love to see you make more Indiana Jones. Like, that could be the only negative of, like...
Yeah, like, if one video blows up, what does that do?
Like, stop creating your own original stuff.
It's like, we don't want to see that. We just want to see Indiana Jones.
I'm sure RackaRacka struggle in the forest. Struggled with that. But it'd be cool to try. Now, where do you see yourself as fitting into? Because this podcast is, as people know, it's just us talking.
Just us talking.
Not directly to people always. Obviously, they're listening to us here. But where do you feel like your want level is in creating? Like, are you, like, what it feels to me is you are happy with just when I say we're doing something, you're ready to go do it. Which is what has happened for the past, like, our whole lives.
Yeah.
Ever since we started working together and making stuff. Which, is there a part of you that's like, oh my gosh, I just wish we were doing it a different way? Or it doesn't feel like you feel that at all.
No, I don't think that I feel that way. I would say I just love to be, like, a part of it and making it happen. And
not worrying about, well, it's not even like a worry about. It's like, I feel like you're just, it's not a bad or a good thing. I don't even know what words I'm looking for of, like, to say where it's like it's like you're not even thinking what I want to do my own thing. You're just so happy we're making something.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be, I think that I would love to be, like, I don't think that I'm a great writer, or I don't think that I'm not the idea guy. I'll be honest. I'm not the idea guy. And I think that there is a part of me that wants to be not necessarily part of the ideas, but part of the creative process. Like, I don't think I could write a script, but I think I could, while a script's being written.
We did see success in this with Sorrow's Grave.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I sat down and was writing things.
Yeah.
Adrian he wrote one line, which is helpful, Adrian. Don't get me wrong. That was helpful. If you're even listening.
You're not.
But, like, we have the famous walk.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm sitting here.
Which, I got to say, ping pong table used to be here. Table replaced it really quick. There's a loop here. It got bigger. I don't know what this is going to do. Like,
I was like, and I think this is my problem of, I didn't reach out and say, Sam, I want to start coming with ideas for this Halloween movie. I just need to bounce ideas. And then that gets you. It's not like saying, because I think you are an ideas guy once you get, like, juiced up with power.
Yeah.
Like, I'll plug the cord in, and then once you get power going, you get moving.
Yeah.
It's like, Sam, I'm writing this. You're with me right next to me. Sam, what do you think about that? And then you start getting ideas just start flowing.
Yeah.
Like you really just start flowing with ideas. Like when we were doing Sorrow's Grave, you like were firing off. Now before that, no ideas. But as we get going, you get a ton of crazy helpful ideas, and I think it makes you want to make it more as we get ideas. Because I think your want is always here. You always want to make it.
I love doing this. I love making things.
It's not a wanting. It's not like if you have 100% want, you will have 100% ideas. It's like ideas are hard to come up with, and are tricky because it's like a weird. Ideas are weird.
Ideas?
Weird.
Where do they come from?
But I think we are discovering. I think we also need to use this more of like, okay, I just realized that I'm having a problem writing this Halloween movie and not even like I'm struggling to even have a start of ideas, like where to go with this, public domain, what are we supposed to even be doing for it? And now even being like, okay, it's not that I need Sam to send me ideas naturally. It's like, let's sit down. I'm going to just start thinking of like, what if we did this? No. What if we tried that? And like you just start going, and it's like, okay. Then that'll probably make
Give me
you
a Mountain Dew Spark. I'll start pacing.
As a producer, that's where you will turn it up to, because I think like the ideas people, where do you think the idea guys fill into a role in the film set? And I don't know if it is a specific role, though.
I think that really depends on the person. I don't know that there's
some
a role.
directors that really, they just pick up jobs.
Because, director isn't always like you involved in like the writing and the ideas of it.
It could just be a pick up a script,
it's
which
just,
is a lot.
all right,
Spielberg
here's what
picks
we're
up a
doing.
script a lot and will change it a little bit.
Oh,
He doesn't write a ton.
Yeah.
I don't think what did Spielberg write? Schindler's List?
Did he write Jaws? I think he wrote Jaws.
I'm like 100% sure he did not write Jaws.
Okay, take it back.
Because he was 27. That was his first feature.
Jaws.
Does Spielberg write here?
Jaws. Directors. Wow, Spielberg's the last. Oh, because of... Okay, I'm going to fill...
He wrote The Goonies.
Okay, no, he did not write.
Close Encounters. Roger of the Skies. Ace Eli.
I don't know
Matthew
that one.
Robbins. So, and Fablemans. He wrote Duel. Now, he's listed... Oh, Steven Spielberg scripts, and I was like, Indiana Jones, E.T., Poltergeist, those are just his movies. I was like, oh God, how did he did write That's another thing. It's like, writing is very difficult.
Yeah,
it's
writing
like,
is very hard.
It's like, okay, maybe it's not always coming up with the ideas. It's like that Indiana Jones thing would be a perfect thing of like, you and me sit down and say, what would be a fun Indiana Jones short? I like that. Let's write that down. I like that. Now, maybe it's me writing it down, but it's our ideas together forming, which I think will help with it not being all, like, I think that'll help especially you to feel like you can track what's going on more.
Yeah.
Because you were there for the creation. Like, did you feel like you could track Sorrow's Grave better than American Dreamers? They're different, a lot of different stories, though.
Yeah, it's hard for that one because they're very different stories.
And you're
like
doing
American
different...
Dreamers is pretty basic.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not that hard to follow, ever.
So, I don't know.
Meanwhile, Sorrow's Grave, we're like, let's have an intense suicide. It's so stupid.
Did he kill himself? You'll never know.
You'll never know. He didn't.
We didn't like that. He's sad.
It was really sad.
And that's why we are probably not going to see you talk to me.
Yeah, it's scary, guys. But, I mean, RackaRacka did it.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool for us to try. I think we discovered that also, like, I think we would be better writing together. We're not writing, like, doing the ideas together and then turning those ideas into written stuff. Because I think I can get cooking on a script sometimes.
Luke will write.
It's usually one night. I need to get better at revising my work. Because what we felt, big problem in Sorrow's Grave is I was constantly revising throughout. So it was like, shoot, we don't even know what script we're printing. We don't even know. Like, this time we had one script that was so nice.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Now, our next thing, the problem is Sam and I just love acting together. Because number one, I think we are some of our best actors.
Yeah.
Because we've done it so many times.
Like, chemistry is so huge.
And the comedy. There's a lot of elements. That's like
so
RackaRacka's in a lot of their own.
We're just so funny.
We're so funny and good. We can't relate to anyone else. I really want to do an Indiana Jones short film now. I mean,
Now, hear me out. 2 stormtroopers
in
the woods.
In the forest.
No, not in the forest. In the woods.
That's a game changer. Now, I got a quote for you guys today.
Can you
Something
drop me
I want to
that
do, and if you made it to this point, I appreciate you. Okay?
Can you tell me where this quote's from?
So this quote is from Seth Rogen.
Oh.
Who got it from? I don't know who. But this is not like this is what he was just saying in an interview. If you don't quit, you won't make it. Wait. If you don't quit, you might make it. If you do quit, you definitely won't make it. So let me I worded that very poorly.
Give me one more time.
So the whole idea is like saying, if you try to make it, you have a chance.
Yeah.
But if you quit, you won't have a chance. So
Read that back to him one more time.
So now I typed it wrong. So I'm trying to. I typed it. If you don't quit, you won't make it. But that's supposed to be you might not make it. Okay, here we go. Finally, Seth Rogen. If you don't quit, you might make it. If you quit, you definitely won't make it.
That's powerful.
So you either might not. You have this chance. It's like
yeah.
He said most of the people I work with just are people that. So look at Ian McKellen, who plays Gandalf.
Oh yeah.
Now that is his name, but
I think yeah.
Now I'm really getting scared.
We're just gonna. We both know it is.
We both know what it is. He didn't get famous until he's 65, and he played Magneto and Gandalf, and went down as one of the best actors of all time.
Ooh. Sorry, guys.
That spelling's got to be atrocious. I have no idea.
There's this guy, Ian McCall, and it's like the boxer, and I was like, who's that? Yes.
It is Ian McKellen.
McKellen.
He didn't give up until he was 65. He didn't stop trying to be in film and make stuff till then.
And who do you
Obviously,
know?
that would
Gandalf.
be a long way. Yeah, who do you know? You know Gandalf and Magneto.
Yeah.
Let's go. But look at Harrison Ford, 30 before he started.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like, all right. If we make an Indiana Jones short, if we don't make an Indiana Jones short, we know and believe in ourselves that we're going to be making huge movies. So why rush?
Yeah. Why rush? But also, it's just so fun to make stuff.
Yeah, it's really fun to make stuff.
That's where we start to rush. Is
Yeah.
just we're like,
We want to
come on, we want to show more.
Like, we could definitely go out in the woods this weekend and make an entire short. That sounds fun.
We probably actually will end up doing that. Honestly.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the Suka Podcast. We post clips here, new episodes every single morning at 7 a.m. Thank you guys for watching. American Dreamers, August 30th, 2023.